division, number line, dividing two digits by one digit. So what is it? Distributing a group of things equally. Why? Helps with multiplication, can help in sharing the task equally on a project. Interesting fact, hot water freezes faster than cold water. So let's talk about the vocabulary, specifically array and lots of. An array is an arrangement of objects in rows and columns. And then what you see on your screen are arrays. And specifically, you can then say one way of saying it is 3 lots of 2. And if you count, there are 6 circles, and lots of is just a fancy way of saying multiplication. So if we do 3 times 2, which gives me 6 circles, and there you go. So you don't have to count them. You can just use multiplication. So we have this one. We have 2 lots of 4. And once again, if you count them, you can get to 8. But multiplication is easier and faster. So you get 2 times 4, which gives me 8. Now let's take a look at the steps. Step 1, write down the multiple of your divisor. Step 2, draw a number line. In math, drawing is a good first step for every single question. Step 3, subtract a multiple of your divisor. Step 4, subtract another multiple and keep going until you get to 0 or a number less than your divisor. Step 5, add your lots and put the remainder, if any. This is the first example of 3, so let's go ahead and get started. So what is 64 divided by 4? We're going to draw the multiples. Now we're going to draw the number line. We have 64 at the end and 0 at the beginning. So now we're going to pick a number that's easy. I think 40 is probably the easiest one, and it's also the biggest one on the screen. So we're going to draw a hump, and note that is 10 lots of 4, which is 10 times 4, which is 40. Now we're going to go ahead and subtract in 24 just to be sure. 64 minus 40 is 24. So now we're going to draw another hump, and this time we're going to draw it to 0 because we know, as we can see on the multiple of 4, 24 is a multiple. So we're going to do 6 lots of 4, which is 24. And then now we're going to go ahead and add the lots, which is step 5. 10 plus 6 is 16 lots of 4. So let's go and verify. 16 times 4 is 64. So my answer is 16. Let's take a look at example 2. I'm going to write down what is 72 divided by 6. So let's write down the multiples of your divisor. And they're on the screen. So let's go right ahead and write the number line as well. Now we're just going to draw a hump. Doesn't really matter what the end point is. Just draw it, and then you can decide what multiple you want to do. So in this case, once again, I think we should use 60, or 10 lots of 6, which is 60. And then we subtract, and we get 12, just to verify. 72 minus 60, it is 12. Now we're going to draw a hump. And before we do that, let's look at the multiples. Do we have a number of 12? And we do. So we can just go ahead and draw the hump from 12 to 0. And that is 2 lots of 6. And 2 times 6 is 12. And we don't have anything else to do because we're at 0. So now we add them. 10 lots and 2 lots gives me 12 lots of 6. So now we're going to go ahead and multiply. And we get 72. So my final answer is 12. So let's take a look at the final example 3, which is what is 53 divided by 3. This one, there is a remainder, so we're going to go, it's just a little bit different, but the process is still the same. Draw your multiples or write them down. Now I'm going to draw my number line. You're going to draw a hump, doesn't matter what it is. And then you're going to take a guess, whatever one you want to do. But I think once again to do the 30, because that's the biggest number that you can see. And then we're going to do 10 lots of 3, which is just 30. And now we subtract, and we get 23. To verify, 53 minus 30 gives me 23, so we're good. Now, do we see, we're trying to find a number that is closest to 23 of the multiples. You don't have a multiple of 23, so we need to pick one that is closest but not going over. So now we see 21 is the closest. So we're going to go to 21, and since there's not one of 23, the hump does not go to 0. So that is 7 lots of 3, which gives 21. And if we subtract, we get 2. Now we're going to go ahead and add the lots because we can't go any further. So 10 lots and 7 lots, which gives me 17 lots of 3 with a remainder of 2. Let's go ahead and verify. 17 times 3 is 51. We add the 2 and we get 53. So the final answer is 17, remainder 2. Now it is your turn. I'm going to show you the answers in a few seconds, so go ahead and pause the video so you can take your own time. And there we go. So in 3, 2, and 1, here are the answers. If you got them correct, well done. If you didn't, there's always tomorrow.